Return to Glory podcast. Hunter Zarbanek, Austin Rhodes, Dakota Freetag. Gentlemen, it's been a few weeks since we've last talked. A lot has happened. It's been a busy time of the year. How is life?
Life's good. Yeah, you're right. It is a busy time of year. I'm assuming, I know Lady O, they're in full swing. I saw senior night was the other night. How are Lady O holding up?
Good. We are, I don't even know what our record is. Heading into postseason, we just kind of figured out our district pairings last night, actually.
Nice.
So yeah, heading into postseason, are sitting pretty decent for that, and hopefully have a chance to make the state tournament. We did have an injury to one of our better players, so that was unfortunate, season ending, and very kind of sad, but the team's responding well, and we're set here for a good run, hopefully here at the end of the year.
The defense has looked fantastic this year.
Thank you, Dak.
Yeah.
You have not watched us play once.
One time for about half a quarter, but yeah. No, life's been going great. This is getting into my favorite time of the sports season. It's starting to, the last 2 or 3 weeks, college basketball leading into March Madness is awesome. Like, it's starting to feel like every game's a big game. And this is just when I get into college basketball big time.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it. That's for sure. I was just talking the other day with someone that I said the best time of the year, one of the best times of the year, if not the best, is kind of from state tournament in high school through the Masters week. I that 6-week span doesn't get much better than that. You could argue the start of football season, but
nah. But then when football comes around, we'll say that's the best time of the year. So we'll.
That's true.
In the moment right now, March Madness is.
Where do we begin today? I think we got to talk some basketball. Obviously, been a little bit of football talk, although I think we're all in the same boat where the interest there is
low,
a little bit meh.
Low.
So do they start spring practice today? Then I saw somewhere they have their first interviews today, and I don't know if it's tomorrow or today they start spring practice, but
that tells you where my interest is at.
I just saw that last night that they said there's little interest and there's interviews tomorrow and practice starts sometime soon it starts.
Dak told me yesterday he knows our starting quarterback for next year, so that's good.
Yeah, according to the ticket, it's going to be Danny Kalen.
Hey.
Give him a shot because he's smart and he's played football a lot. That's basically all they said. I don't think that's the best option, but sure, rolled out there by this point. Who really cares?
So
I haven't. Football, baseball and softball started. I haven't even, that's how low football is on my my horizon.
Yeah, both baseball and softball are also in swing. Could be playing in Nebraska with the weather that we've had here lately.
No kidding.
Yeah.
The softball team already has wins over the two different number one teams.
Yes, they have.
So that's exciting. They've also
one thing I got to say about the softball team is I did not know Jordy Ball got married. And so I was so confused. I'm like, where'd she go?
Yeah.
And I was like, why is she not on the team? And then I'm like, oh, there's another Jordy. I'm like, I wonder if she got married. Sure enough, yes, she did. So
married.
I was the same way. I was like, who is this pitching for the Huskers? She's pretty good. Well, ends up being Jordy
really
Ball.
Good. She should be. That's funny. Yeah, so they've had a good start. The men, I don't remember how they've had a decent start too, if I remember correctly. 3-1.
Yep, we won a few games to start the year, so Been good.
I mean,
Good start there. We don't talk a lot of baseball, softball, but when things
When
go
the
well,
softball team has 2 wins over #1 team in the country, you kind of got to mention it. So
yes.
you talk about a gauntlet to start the year, though. Geez, that's the hardest. You got to be the hardest 10-game stretch ever to start a
I
season.
did notice, yeah, I don't follow college women's softball, but I was like looking at the tournament, like, geez, they got only only good ball teams down there. Like,
You know what? I think they kind of wanted that. I think this team that is, I mean, obviously with scheduling, you have some say in what you want to play, and I think they kind of wanted that a little bit. We're ranked in the top 10. The softball team is, and with,
that gives you a little leeway as far as losses you can get. You start out that high.
correct. And I think you want to play the competition. You want to see where you're at, and I think we've kind of shown, we're worthy of a top 25 team, and we've obviously beat two different #1 teams. We've lost a couple of games in there as well, but we're worthy of being in that conversation clearly after the first few games of the year.
Okay, enough softball talk. Good for us though. Way to go, guys.
Great job.
Held their own.
Better get to basketball. Kind of the first time I don't really want to talk about basketball because of how things have gone, but
Yeah.
Huskers are on a little skid here after starting the year 20-0. We are now 22-4. We've lost 4 of our last 6. And most recently, as of late last night, a 52-57 loss to the team to the east, the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I okay. One, I want to start. I'm not gonna let the little skid ruin a good season. We kind of knew there were moments where we had hopes for a higher seed. We kind of knew once we started 20-0, it was probably a 2 or 3 seed, and that's where it's still kind of looking. Um, Iowa on the road was ranked as one of our tougher games left. I think it was ranked higher than the Purdue game at home as far as difficulty. I could be remembering that wrong. Um, we have since Frager and Mass came back, we just look a little, I don't want to say flat, but our scoring droughts are more frequent. And I don't know if that's just because Frager seems different. I could be interpreting it wrong. I'm happy to hear you guys here. I'm not gonna, again, I don't want to overreact because we lost to Iowa essentially by 3. We ended up fouling with like 7 seconds left, and that's how they got their 5. And then we lost in overtime to Purdue after being down 22 at home. And then we lost to Michigan by 3 after we led the game for 39 minutes. And then we lost to Illinois at home, which I think what's coming to fruition, especially with the Illinois game, was just the size. When teams are big, oh my gosh, last night, if I had to watch Iowa get an offensive rebound one more freaking time, I was going to throw my freaking laptop at the wall. It was just maddening. The offensive rebounds are killing us. Okay, that was my brief little. We haven't talked since I don't remember when, but that's
Yeah,
what I got.
I think there's a lot to unpack there. There's uh, definitely some good teams in the Big Ten. We know that,
Yeah,
and we've played every game very, very close. That's unlike some of these other teams. Even at the top, they've had some blowouts. So they've all been obviously close games. I think if you want to open up the bigger conversation, it's what are the expectations of this team? And yes, it's been a really good season, right? And we even got all the way up to that 1 seed line for a little bit there when we were rolling undefeated. And who knows where we'll end up? I mean, I think you mentioned the 2 or 3 seed. I see a lot more 4 seeds now. I mean, depending on how the season ends up, you could probably still fall a little bit more. You could also come back up to a 2 seed depending on how things end. So yeah, it's been a good year, and you can't take that away. I don't think there's not going to be much that could happen here for it not to be a good year. Well, losing a lot of games and not winning a first round of the NCAA tournament. That would
Yes.
that would answer that question. But I don't think we're there yet. I do think you're seeing a lot of things that are being exploited now. You mentioned the Mast and Frager injuries, mass illness, and Frager's ankle that happened a couple of games ago. They are now back and playing, but things just have seemed a little bit off than what they were used to. And I don't know that's all because of injury. I think you're also at a point in the year where teams have good scouting
Yeah,
reports on you, and
that curl, yeah, the
they
Price
know
Stanford
tendencies.
curl is not what it was at the beginning of the year. That curl up around the screen where you basically get any three.
Yeah.
People have figured that out, and that is not there anymore.
I mean, just Price in general, I would say just his ability to
Yeah, he's
shoot
on.
and drive. You know, he's obviously not the most athletic individual, but he has some strengths. And when I say athletic, quick, I guess, and you know, so as an example. But I think you can go down the list of our team's strengths and what they're really good at and tendencies. And I think just teams have a better idea of what we're trying to do right now, which then now falls back on Coach Hoiberg and you know the offensive side of the ball to figure out, okay, how can we continue to be creative with our players that we have to get us some open looks, whether that be from the 3-point line or on the inside. And you know, you saw Mast against Rutgers go off and have a really good game. You know, Northwestern, we struggled and then had a good second half. So like again, it's not like things are blowing up, but we're seeing some losses now.
Right.
And
It's tough. You got, like I said, our three losses are to number 3 Michigan, number 9 Illinois, number 13 Purdue, and then Iowa on the road. You know, yeah,
It's yeah, a lot of the flaws are just showing up here. It's terrible. Like last night proved we we basically live and die by the three. It was the worst we've shot by three this season by a while. And what did we score for 2 points? It was awful. But watching the end of that game, I figured out Iowa has their guy they want to go to towards the end of the game. He's going to take over, and that's it. Sturts, whatever. By the way, man up. You were never hurt. Stop faking your injuries. You were never hurt. But anyway, who is Nebraska's go-to guy at the end of the game? I don't have a clue. We have multiple guys that can do it, but we don't have the main number one. I don't feel like.
if I had to, one, I said their philosophy is hot hand. Two, it seems like if they want someone to take the last shot, it's almost always Jamarcus Lawrence. He had the
Yeah,
ball at the end of the Purdue. He had the ball against the end of Illinois. He had the ball at the end of Iowa.
well,
And that could just be a
now
product of
I'll
defense
say it's
giving
not.
it to him.
I don't think it's Jamarcus Lawrence. I think what we've done is Sam's been the one driving it.
That's true.
So you're right. I do think that's could be an issue. I also don't know that that's. I don't know. It's a philosophy thing on what you believe, and yeah, Iowa. Everybody knows Ben Sturts is their guy. I think we have several guys, and I do agree. Yeah, Austin, it's kind of the hot hand on who's playing well, and I think this team's kind of like that. I mean, Kale Jacobson last couple of games has played a lot more late over Frager. Like that's just kind of the lineup that we've gone with, because he's been playing better on both sides of the ball than Frager has. So I do think there's a piece of that, but that also is a little bit of okay, who's going to step up and do it? And Jamarcus is the senior that has the experience, the leadership. You can tell he's the one that him and Mast are kind of the two that are leading that charge. So, you know, yeah, I think that's a little bit of a concern, but also you can see the way our offense runs. It's not like it runs through one guy throughout the course of the game. I'm not talking about late. I'm talking about the whole game. And you know, it's a little bit of Sanford with a lot of our actions. You know, but Mast has his times where we run our offense through him, and then our best driver is Sam, and sometimes it looks like our offense is Sam. Our best offense is Sam driving the ball, and either creating for himself or others. So there's a lot of different pieces there that, again, it's good because it makes it hard to guard, but also in the same time, towards the end of the game, you wonder, okay, what are we trying to get? What are we looking for?
Yeah, it felt like because I was trying to figure out what was in it. It feels like Mass is probably our go-to guy. That's what I would say. At least that's who we were trying to in the game, and it was just frustrating the whole game. And I don't know if it was the rest letting them play or what, but just feel like our 3-point guys could never get off anything of them. They were just all over us the whole game, and I don't know. It just feel like Iowa might had more intensity too. I felt like I just feel like we weren't really locked
I
in to
mean,
start the game,
yeah,
which
they were at home, and there was a top 10 matchup, and
I'll say
I
this:
think
Ben McCollum has done a really good job in his
he's a good
first
coach.
at Iowa.
yeah,
And I mean, think about some of our games against them. They have been very high scoring offensive battles in the past when they had Fran McCaffrey, and neither team could stop either team. Iowa always had the shooters everywhere. The Price Sanfords of the world that have kicked our butt, and it's an opposite style now with our two teams and than it was a couple of years ago. We're the two leading teams in the Big Ten of points allowed in conference play so far this year. Iowa being one, and us two, and so that was evident by the score here. And yeah, they took away what we were comfortable doing, and we didn't shoot it great, which wasn't a product of us getting wide open looks and missing. We had a few, but a lot of our stuff was very very contested or deep. And again, credit to Iowa and everything they do. Their intensity and physicality, toughness, all of those things. That's how they won that game last night. And that's frustrating to hear because once again, that's what we have felt like our strength has been, why we have had the season that we've had are those things. And then just like the football team, Iowa comes in and does those things better than us and beats us. And you just want to go, it's frustrating. It's hard. But again,
Yeah,
credit to Iowa. Like I am not talking bad and saying Iowa
no,
like that they are. I'm impressed by Ben McCollum. Like they've done a really good job, and I think they're now 9-6 in conference play. They're up there. They're not a
they
ranked
danced
team.
around being ranked all year. You know, they were ranked for a little bit. I think at one point they got up to number 18.
And
And
Vegas knows that Iowa was even ranked last night.
yeah,
They're not ranked,
um,
favored.
favored. Yeah, no, I had that thought last night because I remember last year when we were having the Fred Hoiberg discussion. One of the times we were talking about who we'd want instead, and I do remember we talked about Ben McCollum as like like it was Will Wade and Ben McCollum were kind of the two that we were talking about that we wanted. So, um, yeah, it just sucks. I I don't know if it's just because when we were doing really well, Frager was getting 13 points off the bench. Some nights he was getting 20 points off the bench, and he hasn't looked like that since coming back from the injury. Um, and I mean, our size has been just like against Purdue and against Illinois. And then the offensive rebounding last night, I don't even know if that's a product of size, but I just don't understand why we're never in position to rebound. And it drives me freaking nuts.
feels like we get pushed around too.
I know. Oh,
Guys, we're white. Like
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry to say it, but I think we are not the most athletic team. We have some length, but we are not super quick and physical from just a pure stature standpoint. I mean, you look at our team, your top 25 teams, how many of them play? And I'm not discrediting these guys at all because actually I think Sam's probably one of our best rebounders, but like Sam and Kale, like they're what 6', 6'1" guards that are both
yeah.
playing at the end of the game. You don't see that in a lot of places. So again, when they're your kind of best rebounders, they do the best job of it. Like we just are lacking.
I just wish Oogie was playing.
Root.
I just wish Oogie was playing. It's
Yeah, and I think he would
um,
help a lot. I mean, I think Barricade is a solid rebounder and does some good things. That's obviously one of his strengths. Mass for a big, he's not. Mass isn't one of those bigs that can go out and jump out of the gym. Given his injury, he's a big, but he's not. One of his strengths is not rebounding. Price is definitely not
Price gets thrown around like
strong
a
rebound. He
Yeah,
was the one that hit
he's
the big old board last night. So yeah, that's becoming more of a glaring issue, not just in the Iowa game, but I remember the Purdue game.
Purdue,
We could
yeah,
not get a
Illinois,
rebound. We had that game won at home after the crazy game that was, and the comeback, and
and we missed the free throw.
there's a lot of things that game that it was weird. We were getting our butts kicked, so it was like, nope, we don't deserve to win, don't deserve to win, and then we actually could have won, but then missed, couldn't finish the game with a rebound. There was the Mass missed free throw after the and one to send it to overtime. So there's a lot of things in that game that, if we had a pot after that we would have went through, that you didn't feel like we should have won that game, but we were in it, and probably should have won it in the end, but didn't. So that is becoming more of an eye-opening thing. And here's what's scary. There are teams that match up very, very well against us. I think Iowa's kind of one of those teams, and there's teams out there that are going to be sitting on those 12 to 15 lines that are going to fit those demographics and could cause us a lot of problems in the opening round of the tournament. Now, whether we play one of those teams or not, we will see. If we play one of those high flying, like 3-point shooting, not very tough, but I think we're going to be okay. Like,
Yeah.
I think we're going to match up well. But if we play one of these like gritty, built like size wise, defensively, and then have just enough shooters, it's not going to be good. So we'll see, in the future on that. But
this is that's the type of game you want Nebraska to be in, is like a 50 in the 50s to low 60s game. That's what style you want Nebraska, if you're the opponent, to play as. You don't want them putting up 80, 90 points a game. We're just, the physicality has been our problem. And I don't know what Frager has shot since he came back from injury, but it has to be horrific. I feel like he's not hitting any threes anymore. And yeah, he's been a big problem. Burke, for the love of God, can you quit shooting threes? You cannot make them. I don't care how much room they give you, which that's a huge problem too, is how far people sag off on him. That's a big problem. But just quit shooting them. We know you can't make them. There's no shots going in. But yeah, he drives me nuts. He probably had one of his better games last night of the season. But yeah, anytime we're not hitting our threes, it's showing right now.
like I
We're
said,
gonna
I just
struggle.
think we're a lot better scouted, right? Like there were a lot of surprises for Husker fans as well. Frager was one of those. Sanford being another one of those. I don't think anybody kind of saw his shooting capabilities until we saw him. So I think Mass shooting abilities too early on in the year was like, oh, well, we knew we could kind of shoot it, but to that level, now he's
I
not
guess
quite there again.
he's not hitting his threes either lately. So it's
just funny. I just think but you can say they're not making them, right? But I think there's a big reason is because they're just being guarded a lot differently, like tighter, and they know what teams have good coaches in the Big Ten, and they understand what our strengths are, and teams are taking that away right now on that side of the ball, and it's leading to some offensive struggles right now. And so, yeah, again, that's what I said. That kind of goes back to Hoiberg and saying, okay, like now let's find a way to change some things up. And, we've had some of these really awesome actions that are now being defended. So now it's time to, counter the counter, find some new things that'll
And
exploit that.
we are still really good at second half adjustments. I know,
Correct.
but we've still been good at that. I
Very
just
good.
looked it up. The last 4 games, Frager's hit 3 threes. So
What's he shooting in those games? 3 for.
I don't have that up, but not great.
Yeah, and the good part about it is Fred is a good enough coach that he'll figure this out how to. And then we have that good Nate Lenzer is a hell of a defense coach, but these first halves are driving me crazy too. We need to. Why don't we come out like we do in the second half in the first half of games? It feels like, oh, we'll always rely on the second half to figure out our defensive struggles. Like I even against Northwestern, yeah, we start out slow on the first half. These first halves are coming back to bite us a little bit, like against Purdue. You can't fall down these teams 10, 12 points and expect to come back every time just because our second half defense is gonna bail us out.
Well, why do you think that's happening then?
I I think, like you said, teams have a scouted better to start out, and they know we're going to run, and then we change it the second half, come out like that.
Very good.
But
Yeah.
but like you said, let's counter them and let's come out let's come out better in the first halves.
I mean, we're not getting killed in the first.
No.
Outside of Purdue, but Purdue came out and shot like. I mean, they hit like their first. It was like 5 of 6 threes. That was an adjustment that we made relatively quick. We got down big. We were down like 16-3 in the first 5 minutes. And then they kind of cooled off and we kind of figured it out. But all things considered, we have 5 left. They're all very winnable. So
I think
the
we're
toughest
done.
ones,
We're done with the ranked teams here. The current
unless Iowa becomes ranked by the end of it, which is
correct.
possible.
Yeah, good.
We go Penn State at home, Maryland at home, at USC, at UCLA, and then Iowa at home on Sunday, March 8th. The target is what, I guess, for where again, this is where as a Husker basketball fan, you could go down a lot of different roads here to end the year. So let's first start regular season. Like, where would you like for us to be to set us up into one, the Big Ten tournament, but two, into the NCAA tournament?
So we have 5 games left. Obviously, I want to win all 5. If we end 3-2, 4-1, I think that's good enough to get us the 3-round or the triple bye for the tournament, which is what I really want for the Big Ten tournament.
So currently, just to follow that up, Michigan will be getting a first round bye at 15-1 in the conference. Currently, there are 3 teams tied right now at 11-4. Us, Purdue, Michigan State in contention for that. What's helped is these other teams are also losing some games too, and like we said, the Big Ten conference is
no joke,
pretty tough, top to bottom. I'm not going to go and say it's the toughest conference in the country, but it's up there. Illinois is right ahead of us at 12-3 in the conference. So right now, I mean, if you look at it from a tiebreaker standpoint too, we're on that line. I agree, Austin. I think that would be a good goal, is to have that triple bye being one of the 4 teams in the Big Ten tournament, to where you're basically already locked into the quarterfinals of the tournament. And I mean, you said what? What do you think out of these last 5 games? What do you think that's going to take?
I think you have to win 4. I just don't.
Yeah. I'll be pretty disappointed if we don't go 4-1 because I fully expect us to lose one of those USC UCLA games. Anything less than 4-1, I'll be real disappointed in because everything's there. And another thing is, if we don't come out and beat Iowa by 15 plus at home, that's that's a big one. Come out and just kick their ass next game, especially after they stormed the court. By the way, we can get into this terrible court storming. They couldn't even field the court. They horrible stork corn by the Iowa fans. We'll just say that. But come on that game, kill Iowa. You can lose one of the California games. Other than that, I'll be disappointed in how we end the year.
Yeah,
Really, I'll go for it.
as I think we should hopefully at home for these next 2 games step up and win those. The interesting thing is, we talk about being disappointed or whatever. And I think to me that leads into the NCAA tournament and your thoughts, which we talked about, I believe, in our last podcast, which was a few weeks ago, on what's acceptable. Like what are we wanting as a Husker fan? Again, not that our opinion matters ever, but it's been a fun year, and Nebraska basketball has never been in this position that we're in now. And I even said it last night, kind of weird to have a team storm the court after beating us. Like
Right.
that's never happened. Which when we've done it on teams too, it's a little bit sign up like, okay, no, they're good. And obviously we're a top 10 team currently. With the rankings this week, I think we'll be around there, around that 10 mark if we finish a year 4-1. So NCAA tournament wise goes, obviously the higher seed, the better. You're going to get probably your tougher mid majors. The lower you go and the higher you are, the better matchup you're hopefully going to get. But, I think we're all going to say, right, that this team better be winning an NCAA tournament game.
Yes.
I think that better happen.
Yeah. If you lose the tournament game, I mean, obviously you're not going to fire Fred after this kind of season, but I feel like you kill any momentum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, what's the point if we have a great regular season if we just shit the bed when we play a mid-major team in round as a 3 seed?
Right. I mean, given this is our probably best team ever, obviously in our lifetime of watching Nebraska basketball, but even comparing them to some of those other good Nebraska teams in the 90s, I think the highest seed we got there was a 6 seed. And we played University of Pennsylvania and lost that game. So, from looking at it from that standpoint, I think that's what we should get. Now, after that, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? I think I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, given we're on a little bit of a struggle bus here, but what are your thoughts on
I realistically
the
think that we're a Sweet 16 team. I like I said, you look at the games that we've lost, it's against the preseason number 1 team, the currently ranked number 1 team, and then Illinois, who people think could sneaky be like, a real title contender, and then Iowa, unfortunately, on the road. And again, we were right there at Purdue, missed our free throw to take the lead with 3 seconds left in the game. We led 39 minutes against Michigan. Like, we're right there. So I really do think we're a Sweet 16 team. Like, not trying to blow smoke up our. I know the last couple games doesn't feel that way, but we're playing really good teams, and I think these are the teams you see in the Sweet 16, not before.
Yeah, we haven't got blown out all this year. That's the good part is I went to bed last night just mad about basically like we suck. We're gonna lose the NCAA tournament. I'm gonna have to run a half marathon. All this, all this stuff. But then I sat there for a little bit. I thought, you know what? They're 22-4. They have not got blown out at all. They really haven't. They have not had a bad loss yet this year. We've been right there in all these games. If we just hit our threes and somehow this easier said than done. Somehow figure out how to rebound. We are right there, and you know what? This is still a damn good team.
I'm going to guess that we're favored in the next 5 games. I don't know that for a fact, but I'd be surprised if we weren't favored for the next 5.
Maybe at UCLA, I could see, but man, they got blown out last night.
Michigan State. I also saw that Mick Cronin
I just
ejected his own player.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he did.
So, yeah, I think so. I think if you look at the second round, given where we're at, you're going to play a pretty solid team. I don't think we're probably going to get to that 2 seed line. I mean, maybe depending on how the Big Ten tournament goes, but that's probably not likely. So you're going to be playing a 4, 5, 6 seed team in that second round if you can win that first one. And they're going to be a good opponent. You're looking at teams like Kentucky. You're looking at teams like BYU. I've seen in that line. They're it's going to be a tough game, and so you lose that game.
We already beat BYU, by the way.
It's true.
We did. So you lose that game. I think you can still maybe you can say it's been a good year, but Austin, I'm a little more where you're at. Is I think given the season that we've had and some of the wins that we've shown and things that we've done, it would be a little disappointing not to be a Sweet 16 team this year. And I think that's rightfully so. It's a weird thing to say out loud given how poor we've been, but I don't think we should just be satisfied as saying that tournament win, great, check the box. Now everything else is icing on the cake. I think we have the team, and we've shown to have the team that we can go a little further this year in the tournament. And I saw something the other day. Some CBS reporter had us in the freaking national championship against Illinois. Like that was his prediction. I'm not saying
crazy,
that, but I do think there's things with this team that when things are clicking, we're pretty dang good, and we should be in that conversation. Right now, things are not clicking like they were earlier in the year when we had some of those really good wins. Now, not to say they were that far off from getting that back. Ending the year, these last 5 games is a good. They're good games to get our rhythm back as we head into postseason play, and you're going to play some good teams. So
I guess I'd rather have this happen now than in the tournament where people are like, "Oh, we know how to guard." Price. I mean, if you're really physical,
it really has been a nice schedule. Like if you think about it, starting from the beginning of the year, you don't know some of those non-conference games, right? Oklahoma turns out not to be very good. Kansas State
turns out,
fired Jerome Tang, not great.
One thing, Creighton, I don't think they should have fired him for his comments. I thought
no, that was ridiculous.
No, they're going to lose that lawsuit.
Yeah.
Creighton, not having one of their better years. But then you look at on the flip side, we blow out Wisconsin early in the year, who
looks really good right now.
Yep, they cracked in the top 25. You beat Illinois on the road, which still seems to be one of our best wins of the year. You beat Michigan State at home. You go on the road at Ohio State, Indiana, and win those. So we have some really, really damn good wins up there at the front of the season. And then we knew things were going to get tough, and they did. And we have not won all of them. We didn't expect to go undefeated. But now things kind of lighten up here at the end. Just from our opponent's standpoint, none of them are going to be cakewalks, but they're back to winnable games. Hopefully find a rhythm and stride again as we head into the Big Ten tournament in the middle of March.
Yeah, that's the main thing is you can figure out what the problems are in these next 5 games and come in the Big Ten tournament with some momentum. If it started right now, I'd be shitting my pants. Like this would be horrible time to start the tournament. But good part is we still got 5 more games figured out.
The Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, and then maybe win a game or 2 there and go in the tournament with some momentum. Here's what you got to think is too. We're talking about Nebraska being on the 3 or 4 seed line. Coming in the year, there were some people that didn't even have Nebraska winning 3 or 4 Big Ten games.
Right.
It's not the end of the world right now. It's teams go through this a lot in basketball, and I think it's a great time to actually hit the slump.
If we had lost 4 games throughout the season and our record is 22-4, I'd feel freaking great. But it just so happens that we've lost 4 of our last 6.
Which I told you guys coming the year, we will be 22-4 going into the Penn State game.
Is that what you said? I need to go back and listen to the tape.
No. No, I was thinking 8-9 seed, not a 3-4 seed, but
I mean, we were talking just going 500 in Big Ten play. I remember if we said we could win, was it 9 of our 10 non-con games, and then go 500. That's what we were looking for.
Yep.
So can't let the bad taste of just a gross Iowa loss ruin the basketball high,
Yep.
But goddamn, does Iowa just own Nebraska right now in all the major sports?
For now, it's fine.
It sucks.
For now, until Sunday Fun Day on March 8th.
There you go.
Yep, that'll be the one we have to go to.
Are we good for basketball talk? I was wanting to get you guys. Did you guys see Bill Moose's memoir, the quotes and stuff about who he wanted for his head coach and moving to the Big 12?
Yeah, so Bill Moos wrote his whatever you call it, autobiography on himself. And that's been published. And so there's a lot of just stuff out there on his life and career. And it's now a little bit of old news, but, conversation around what he was doing as the athletic director. I'm not surprised at a lot of the stuff. I think it's some of the rumors and speculations of what was going on behind the scenes at Nebraska, but also just in general. I think at a very prestigious university on how those conversations go and things that happen. There's a few different things there. I think my most entertaining piece of it was all the Frost stuff, which, like, again, it's not surprising.
Mhm.
Like his wife saying he's not ready, he's too immature because of their first meeting and Matt Davison being in the room, which we've kind of said when he was around. Matt Davison was kind of spearheading, driving a lot of the Frost decisions and kind of doing, being the guy that makes all the decisions for him. And that was a problem. And then obviously Frost and his ego and his personality from the get go. So, that was the most entertaining part to me was reading those comments. But yeah, there's obviously a lot of other stuff there.
Yeah, Bill
What
Moos.
about you guys?
They made him check into an alcohol rehab facility to like for them to tell him they didn't have an alcohol problem. And
Yeah.
Pillen, current governor Pillen said, "No, we don't want Chip Kelly. We're gonna go with Scott Frost." Which again, we've said the whole time, Scott Frost was 100% the right hire as far as
Not the right
I
time.
mean, as far as his national presence and his head coaching, position at the time. But it's just funny that he really wanted Chip Kelly. I was like, yeah, we probably would have been happy with it too. But
He
And
was
I
the
agree.
Dana Altman
Dana
conversation.
Altman. Yep.
But nope, Dana's not coming here.
Yeah.
Apparently, not
so so Bill Moose is on an interview on the ticket, which I've been listening to that a lot. I love the ticket. Shout out you guys. It's a great radio station. Anyway, Bill Moose on there with the interview after his book came out. He said if Scott Frost got hired when Matt Rule did, he thinks that'd be the perfect time for him to get fired. He's just not ready to be the Husker coach yet. And I kind of agree with that. I think it would have worked out then. It was just a shit show going on here when he was there, and it feel like he was getting pushed into it, making all decisions and all this. But it's also funny how after you get fired, you can come out with all this.
Right.
And yeah,
that.
that's
I don't know who said that on the ticket. Which also, you're right. It is a great radio show. I don't think it ever would have got for us. I don't think his
he
ego would have allowed it.
he said that. Bill Moose said that.
Oh yeah, I don't think it would have worked ever out here with Frost.
I don't think it was a product of immaturity because if he had waited longer, his ego would have just been bigger, you know. And then he's still coming home. That was the problem. He was just home.
I don't know that Scott Frost is a great football coach. I'll just say it that way.
He doesn't look that way right now. Want for another year at UCF.
Yep, we'll see. Maybe it'll be different, but I don't think that he is. So
sometimes
and he
it's
also
just
then
the jobs, Hunter. Sometimes it's just sometimes it's just who's hiring you.
it doesn't feel like he learned anything either from his maturity standpoint. Just coming out last year saying like, "Oh, I picked the wrong job or the wrong job found me." I can't remember what he said, but yeah, it's
some people don't change. That's the old adage of your personality. Like sometimes that's just who you are. In fact, you
yeah.
should know that. It just
What?
you just don't change.
Yeah.
What you saying there, Hunter?
I didn't say anything.
All right, I've got a women's basketball take. I just need to say it because no one really cares about women's basketball. And we are okay, Hunter, Dak, I'll exclude you from this. But I would say Hunter and I were Coach Williams fans. I'm just gonna say seat's a little warm. You have one tournament win in 10 years, you're winless in February, your Big Ten record over the last, we've barely gone 500 over in the Big Ten in the 10-year period. I know Natalie Potts is hurt, which was this dynamic backcourt. But I just want to put it out there because it's just I've watched a couple games and I've just been frustrated with how we're finishing games and I don't know what's wrong. I know we lost Alexis Markowski and our post presence isn't what it was. Britt Prince is really good, but I'm just want to put that out there. We're gonna make the tournament again this year, probably. I think. I don't know. It's been a real rough stretch, but it might be time. 10 years, one tournament win.
Has it been 10 years already?
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
I I've watched our women play, not as closely as the men, but I've watched them a lot. I've seen the lack of what's the word? Not, I mean, it is a little stale right now of where
Yes.
things are at. And yes, I'm with you. Like, to me, the evident piece that from last year, is a missing post presence. Now, not saying every team has to have a post presence, but I think like we've seen that with our men's, we really don't either. Mast is a version of it, but I think in women's basketball, especially having that size down low,
Yes.
on both ends, offensively and defensively, really gives an added bonus in that league. So that has been an issue, and yeah, Britt's really good, and I don't think we use her enough. It just seems like things are a little bit stale right now. I didn't realize. I mean, like I said, I followed along. I have not watched every game. I didn't realize the skid that we're kind of on. I mean, you talk about the men's skid. The women's skid is a big
It's
thing
bad.
right now.
Free
And
fall.
from what we started the year being, winning 13, 14 games in a row to where we're at now, it is a little bit concerning. And I have an interesting thought there about Coach Williams, but I do agree with you that if you can't pull out a little bit of a spark here somewhere, I'm not saying this year, but in the next couple of years.
We've won two, we won 21, we won 23. And next year we have 3 top 100 recruits coming.
So you get that, this year, if you can pull out a spark and make it to the Sweet 16, right? With a team like this, or, win your first round game and make some noise and compete in that second round as a 9 seed against a 1 or 2 seed, like, yeah, you're probably feeling okay. But you're right. It's a little bit of a, all right, like, let's see where we're at, a little bit of a gut check. I think, again, there's still some good things, and injuries have been a thing. I don't know close enough to know, why Potts is still out. I think that's kind of crazy. You feel like she should be back, but she's not.
I think she's done for the year.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like she just overall, not just this season, but just in general, given her injury.
Yeah, this is basically her second season-ending injury.
Right.
Now people are like, oh, if we get Potts back next year, who knows what player you're getting back. I don't know. I just wanted to. I watched. Which game did I watch? Was it Maryland? And I was just so frustrated. And so then I was just thinking, I was like, gosh, it just feels like we're right there, and then we aren't. And so then I went back, started looking. It's just, again, yeah, we've had 2 21 seasons. We were a 10 seed last year, a 6 seed 2 years ago. And the Big Ten is it's a hard, particularly women's basketball conference. But 10 years, you have to have more than one. We were talking, we're gonna fire Fred if he doesn't win one this year, because that'd be none in 7. We have 1 in 10, so
Yep.
I'm not even gonna act like I watch men's basketball. I don't. So All I noticed is that they have been on a major free fall. That's about it. I have not watched. I don't think a single second of the Husker men's basketball team. So there you go.
I will say, Dak, you at least are admitting you're not a fan of a team when you're not. Like, you should do that to more of your teams because it's not just the Nebraska women's basketball.
Oh yeah, Hunter. You know, is coming back. Jason Tatum. He'll be back. Should be back next 2 weeks. So you know what? Get two running shoes ready. You're gonna need two pairs because they're going to the East.
I will say, in defense, we are on a skid, but in that skid, we've only lost to two unranked opponents. But at some point, you
But
have to get a win against.
they've all been 20-point plus losses, right?
I mean, they haven't been close. I don't know if I'd say 20 plus, but usually 15 and 15.
Yeah, and Iowa was the latest loss game, which again own us, but
Yeah, Iowa killed us. Iowa. Oh, I guess that was 13. Oh no, that was 23. No, that's 13.
yeah.
It was 80. So yes, we're playing ranked teams, but you have again, not this year. I just want to put it out there. Next year's kind of might be a do or die season for Amy Williams. We'll see.
Couple other floating topics here. Wanted to get your guys' quick thoughts on one NBA All-Star game.
It was good. Quick thought, it was good. Wemby's great. I love Wemby.
If you just see just a little bit of effort, it's better than when it's been in the past. Like I like what they did this year. I had no clue going into it what the hell the Star Stripes. I thought it was just going to be a U.S. versus the world the full game, but it ended up being 3 or 4 different games, and I liked the change they did.
Made it competitive for what it's worth. I did not know what was going on, which that could be due to other things that are going on in my life. But
It kind of sucked that it was Stars versus Stripes in the championship, but I really just want World versus USA. I don't care.
I think it made it competitive. And then second thought, got to give Austin some time to shine on the U.S. curling team.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. Mixed doubles, silver medalists. The men and women are both curling well. Women more particular than the men. Yeah, I don't.
Was that expected? Can you fill us in? Was that expected to be where we're at? I didn't think so.
For the mixed doubles for silver, definitely not. I think we had the 7th or 8th best odds to medal to get the gold. So they curled out their ass. I mean, it was like their hitting percentage was crazy for like just how it got them. And then it kind of showed up in the gold medal match. They kind of started to normalize a little bit, but they played incredibly well. The men's team's probably not going to medal. They weren't ever really expected to medal. And the women's team could medal. We've beat Canada for the first time. So exciting stuff in the curling world.
So do you like most of these people that are out there curling like you've heard of them before?
Yeah. Yeah, Jared Allen, your Minnesota Vikings defensive lineman, he's starting a pro curling league.
Oh. Okay,
So,
well now I'm in on curling.
Look out for the Rock League, I guess.
Shocker, Dak didn't know something about his claimed team.
Well, he's a retired player.
I knew he was a curler. No, I didn't.
That was a post-career thing he started doing. So it checks out.
If you ever bring in Omaha, Austin, let me know.
If I'm ever in Omaha?
No, if you ever bring Jared Allen into Omaha for the
if I ever bring Jared Allen to Omaha, it's like, I'm always in Omaha. That's where I live. I guess NBA title favorites, quick offhand, halfway through the season.
Thunder.
What'd you say?
Thunder.
Okay.
42-14.
If JCM comes back or doesn't come back.
That's up to you.
You said he's coming back, so
you said he's coming back.
He's coming back. I seriously think Celtics are going to win it all.
That's so foolish.
You want to make a bet on that right now?
No, no.
Oh, but you don't actually think it.
He's not back yet. They're 39-14 without him.
You broke the news, breaking news on this podcast that he's coming back. You said
He'll
that.
be back. Okay, you know what I'm just gonna say it. He'll be back before March 15th. That's kind of what their deadline is. He's gonna come back when they play not Golden State. There's some game they have set that he's gonna come back for.
The Philadelphia 76ers, I believe, is what I heard. They moved the Sixers time 2 hours back to prime time. It's March 4th or something.
Which how about him, guys? Come back from Achilles injury. This is just incredible.
Yeah.
We'll see how he looks if he comes back. I'm not gonna say he's incredible yet. Everyone looks good at training videos.
I will say Wemby's been fun to watch and follow. It's just a freak. Like, you want to talk about Giannis and the stuff that he does, take Wemby and it's very similar to the style of play, but I don't know. I like watching Wemby a lot better, and I liked watching Giannis kind of in his early years. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
I know he's not going to win the MVP because I had my 5 bold preseason takes, which was the Hornets were going to make the playoffs and win a round.
Which that doesn't sound crazy.
Wemby was gonna win MVP, defensive MVP, and the Spurs were gonna be the number one team in the West, and LeBron was gonna average less than 25 points. It's pretty freaking close. We're so close.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone out of the East is beating the West, Dak. That's why I'm now on your side.
No, I think Wemby being this young player, he's the one that kind of started everyone trying an All-Star game with he started blocking shots up. I think he's the one that made that move to everyone. Hey, this is
funny. He's blocking shots. It's not like he's trying to. He's just there.
He's just tall. But he's like, yeah, you're gonna have to try to score. I'm not gonna let you just lay it out.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. It's kind of like Ben Sturt's blocking Sam Hoiberg. Like, you don't even got to try to block him. But yeah,
fun stuff.
All right,
let's get a win Saturday.
Yep, get back on the.
They lose that, then shit hits the fan. Yeah.
Beat Penn State on Saturday. Go Big Red.
GBR.
Go Big Red.